Welcome to Nick's Corner. I'm Nick, wearing my wizarding robe, and we're in a corner. Today we're going to talk to you about Scott Lynch's The Gentleman Bastards, Lies of Locke Lamora. Just finished it last night. What a fantastic read. This has been one of the best books I have ever picked up. The story is just phenomenal. We follow Locke as he navigates his way through a thieving society and using his wits to try and get around the status quo. And every scheme seems to have like a scheme underneath it and stuff like that. It's very interesting. And it's like a buddy book. Like if you like the relationship between Frodo and Sam and things like that, you know, like friendships. This book is fantastic. It's sort of like Ocean's 11 meets Game of Thrones. Something like that. This is about a group of troubled boys who's brought in by a blind priest named Chains. They are trained to be expert thieves and also to be gentlemen. They do menial tasks such as cleaning, feeding everyone, doing the dishes, and also just like learning manners, how to use languages, things like that. And Chains dubs them the Gentleman Bastards, and Locke has all his new brethren to navigate Camor, and they rob the rich and give back to themselves essentially, but soon the Grey King enters and everything changes, and not entirely for the better. It's a wild ride. This is a masterpiece of modern fantasy, and it will not disappoint. Although the book is very light on fantasy tropes, they are still present, even though they're not crazy amounts. It's comparable to like Joe Abercrombie's The Blade itself, where it's dark, it's medieval, but the fantasy elements are pretty light to the story, and that's fine, because the story is really what engrosses you into the story and takes you into the fold. It's pretty dark, it's super funny, there's a lot of great moments in it, and the character development is very desirable. Between Locke and Jean and all them, it's just a fantastic way that Scott Lynch had wrote the story, and I am very happy that I picked this up and read it, and I would definitely say anyone should read it. I love when a book gives you great friendships. I've already mentioned this, but like friendships like Frodo and Sam, or Jon Snow and Samwell Tarly, things like that. I've always enjoyed when friendships come about, and this book takes the crown for that, really, because you get Locke having friendships between Bug, Jean, and the twins, and Chains, and as you go, there's lots of tragedies and stuff, but the way Scott Lynch built their friendships was superb, and I think anyone who likes friendship buddy books, this is a book for you to read, just because the amount of interaction between the friends and stuff and the relationships as they grow is phenomenal, and I highly recommend anyone and everyone reading this. Scott Lynch definitely struck gold with this piece of art. His voice is very strong and engaging. This story is extremely original in its own right, and he kept it contained inside of a city, which for fantasy doesn't usually happen, but it made the city feel super real, and I could see it all in my own head because he did such a great job at explaining it, and he just did a phenomenal job at penning the story. It's unlike anything else I've read, and it is fantastic. It's one of my favorite books at the moment, I would say, and I'm definitely going to be recommending it to everyone. Like, no doubt. Scott Lynch found his stride. He made me care about all the characters he wrote about, and he found his audience within the grimdark community, because everyone's been waiting for more Joe Abercrombie, more Martin, things like that, and he brought us 3 books so far. A 4th one's coming out soon, and they are fantastic reads. Actually, I can't speak for the other ones because I haven't read them yet, but this one here is a fantastic read, and I am extremely excited to see where the story goes, because he ended this almost like it could have been an ending to the book alone, and then that would have been it, but he's carried it on, and I'm really excited to see how he does with that. I would dare say his goal was achieved when he wrote this book, because it just hits so well with the audience, and I really hope that everyone else really loves it as much as I do. This book is recommended to everyone by me. Do you love to read? Do you love buddies stories? Do you like a fantastic story? Do you like fantasy? Do you like thrillers? I don't know, would this be a thriller? No, it wouldn't be a thriller. But it's like a heist story. It's awesome. It just moves along so well. It has a great pace. You're never really feeling dragged down by it, in my opinion. And like, I was always compelled to turn the page and find out what was happening next. Especially that last half of the book. It was just like, I could not put it down. It was awesome. If you don't like magic, but you don't mind it being a part of the world, you will probably enjoy this book a lot more than what you think, because it doesn't focus primarily on the magic, which is something I love. The Lies of Locke Lamora is one of the greatest fantasy stories ever told, in my opinion, with a lot of great twists and turns and moments that made me laugh like a lot. I was grinning like an idiot in public whenever I was reading this, and it should be read by as many people who would let it meet their eyes, because it is phenomenal. There's also these books as well, which come along into the story: Red Seas, Red Skies, and The Republic of Thieves. Both of them are really cool looking books, and I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. And I can tell you, I will be doing reviews on them as soon as I have them done. And this is just something I think anyone who just loves a good story should read. I've said that many times throughout this video, but it is very true, and I wish I could make it even more truer and put this book in all your hands. It was also a book that my lovely, beautiful wife got me for our anniversary and wrote inside of it, so it made that much more special to me. I guess that'll be everything and conclude it for today. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up, and subscribe. If you wouldn't mind, my Goodreads and my Tumblr and Instagram are down below, and you may check it out. Also, I am going to be taking a small, very small, fantasy break to hit up a bunch of fiction and non-fiction books here, because I was given by HarperCollins a big tote full of books to read. My wife has one and I have one downstairs as well, as advanced reader copies, as I now work at Indigo, which is Chapters and Coles as well, here in Nova Scotia, and I'm going to be diving into some of that as a little bit of homework, I suppose, so that I can better sell the stuff and also have more books to read. Duh. And also, I'm going to review a bunch of them on here as well, because I was given the go-ahead to talk to you all about it. So maybe later tomorrow, maybe, I might do my third video for the week, and we will dig into that even more. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here, and have yourselves a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.